Well, on our quest to meet everyone who is on the bond, we have to talk with the Friendship Superintendent, Dr. Michelle McCord. You've got 3 things on your ballot this year.
We do. So on November 5th, we have 3 propositions on the ballot.
And this first one, do you call it a Vader or a Vatra?
Well,
have we
it's
had a name
sort
yet?
of a made-up word, but it's a voter-approved tax ratification election.
Okay.
But basically, it is Proposition A.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
what
it
we need to
doesn't
know.
really say Vader or all those words I just said on the ballot itself.
Okay.
But it's the proposition that impacts our maintenance and operations tax rate.
Okay.
Because mostly when you just look at your tax bill, but it's actually broken up into 2 separate tax rates for a school district.
Okay.
A maintenance and operations, which is the VATRE, and then the interest and sinking or the debt. But Proposition A, I boil that down to teacher pay.
Okay.
Proposition A for teacher pay, it's actually for employee pay, all the
Okay.
employees, not just teachers. But yes, that's our first proposition.
And a vote yes for this would increase teacher pay by how much? Do you know?
Well, we gave a small raise at the beginning of the year, 2% on average.
Okay.
If this passes, then employees will get an additional 3% average on top of the 2%, and we're going to make it retroactive to the first day of their contract this year.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we get paid on the 21st of the month. So if this passes, then on that check right before Thanksgiving and then Black Friday, then so they'll get their regular paycheck and then a lump sum of that retroactive pay.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know, the last legislative session, there's a lot of talk about all of the things that teachers need, that schools need, that districts need. A lot of that was teacher pay. It didn't end up getting passed in this grand lump sum that everyone was talking about, so excited about. Can you talk with me a little bit about the burden of being a teacher right now financially? Because I know, obviously, we don't have Christmas every morning when we go into a classroom right now.
We don't. I will tell you that being a teacher or serving as a public school educator, that's never been easy.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not getting any easier. The needs are great. And what I mean by that is, we have great kids, bright kiddos, but this world we live in right now can be confusing, and it comes at you really fast.
Definitely.
So teachers just face, one, teaching the kiddos, equipping them for the future and whatever opportunities that kids want to embrace. But it's also trying to make sure that we're teaching them how to be a good citizen and how to be kind and to themselves and to other people. And so those are some of the challenges that they face, that we all face. And funding is a challenge. So we receive about, exactly $6,160 per student if they come every day to school. So on the days that kiddos don't come or can't come, they're sick, then we don't receive payment for that day.
Okay.
And so, and again, we don't want kids to come to school when they're sick.
Definitely not.
But we still pay the electric bill, we still pay the teacher, we still pay the custodians, and so that pot of money that is the maintenance and operations tax rate, which is Proposition A, that's how we pay all of our bills, all of our salaries, except for any debt that we have. So debt for, we're building, we just built middle school and elementary, and we're in the process of building a high school, and so those things we have not paid off.
And
so
they're in
kind
the
of
other fund.
That's in that other fund. So that's how we pay for our debt.
Yeah.
But everything else, police officer pay, our electric bill, our property casualty insurance, all of the safety and security measures, those all come out of that one bucket of money.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that's just A.
That's A.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have B and C.
Yeah.
Yes.
So B is more of your traditional bond, taking this to the people there saying we want XYZ. What are XYZ this time?
Yes, and so really I'll just put B and C together.
Okay.
So B and C, those propositions both impact that interest in sinking or that debt.
Okay.
And so we're actually able to decrease the tax rate in the interest in sinking bucket is what I call it, on that tax rate.
It's all under one umbrella.
Because I didn't mention this, but we are asking for an increase
in
8 cents,
Okay.
yes, on that tax rate, but then a decrease in the rate for propositions B and C. So how do you borrow money and reduce a tax rate? Well, one, it's because we're a growing district. And so additional homes, additional businesses, so our tax base is bigger. But our ask is that we build for $189.5 million. We're asking for 2 additional elementary schools to address just the growth.
There's a lot of people moving out there.
We think our population, our student population, right now it's at about 12,000 students. And within 5 or 6 years, we're expecting over 15,000 students. 1,000 of those will be elementary in the next 5 years. So this $89.5 million would construct 2 new elementary schools. It would help us renovate our existing campuses, enhance our safety and security measures, and then do major maintenance things that you couldn't pay out of your your annual budget, like to replace a roof or an HVAC system. Yes, and then Proposition C, it's $10 million. And it's separated from Proposition B. Same tax rate, same bucket of money. But we're asking for $10 million to replace and purchase additional devices for all these new kids coming in, and teachers. So we have additional staff for the schools we are already building, and new kids coming in, new teachers coming in,
growing.
It's listed separately because you don't want to borrow money for 25 years for devices that only last a few years. So this debt will be paid off within 5 years.
Okay. Just in time. It's like an iPhone,
Yes, it dies, and then,
you actually want to be able to replace things that break and die and all of those things. And you want your kids to know how to use technology.
Well, you do, and personalized learning and the ways to individualize learning. I mean, there's nothing that replaces an effective teacher. But it's a powerful tool, this technology is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a lot to think about for Friendship voters, but a lot of information, and thank you for coming on and sharing that piece of it. We will have more information on our website too, and I hear that your website is jam-packed with information.
It is jam-packed, so just go to our website, friendship.net, and you can't miss it, lots of information. And then also there's an email address that's, you can email anyone, but there's a specific email address that directs questions specifically about the bond or the everything about the propositions, including the ballot language that you'll see, that kind of thing. So just check out our website or email us.
Yeah, awesome. Lots of resources. Thanks for being on and talking about this.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, ma'am.